But there is a beauty in constraint. When you constrain a design, it makes you appreciate it more. But for me, it's not retro at all because I grew up using the Pebble watches. I was there when they were released. I bought one from the shops. Like, I'm getting old. I used to own Pebble watches. When Pebble came out, I was one of those people who would go and buy it. So I owned the Pebble Steel, which is this in the middle. And that's the original Pebble, and this is the slightly newer one. And Pebble is the kind of watch brand that is, I'm gonna sound old for saying this, that's a cool watch to own. What I mean by that is I own a lot of nice, normal, like analog watches, like the classic type of watch that you would buy. And I in the past used to buy quite a bit of the smartwatches, but for me I found that when dressing up, especially in commercial, corporate, formal occasions, it was very hard to wear a smartwatch. It didn't fit. Whereas smartwatches are more for the relaxed, laid back environments. So I've been a Pebble watch enthusiast for a while. I've owned a few watches. I enjoyed the operations of them, but as I went more in the corporate space, I stopped, wearing Pebble watches. So the question for you guys is, should you buy a Pebble watch in 2025? Let's find out together.
There are very limited amounts of apps that can still work from the App Store. Here's a look at 5 apps that I have on my Pebble watch. Links for each app is in the description along with the author's name so you can search for it easily with the Pebble app. First up is the Multi-Timer by Matthew Toll. I use this one almost daily. You can create multiple countdown timers and have them repeat, and even change the vibration pattern so you won't confuse the alert with a message notification.
See, I think one of the big reasons why Pebble did well, and why for me I'm tempted to go back to Pebble, is I don't want my smartwatch to end up like my phone. It has to be something so distinctive that it makes me want to use it. If it's an extension of my phone only, then I would just use my phone. That was the issue with why I stopped, using Samsung watches, because it's like, okay, I am basically trying to get the same functionality as my phone anyway. Just use my phone. Whereas the Pebble watch, yes, like it was limited, but there is a beauty in constraint. When you constrain a design, it makes you appreciate it more.
I find this especially useful for cooking, such as...
Why is there a piece of like meat in the background anyway? It's funny.
Flipping my steaks on the grill every 30 seconds or so. It's also useful for exercise routines, such as sprinting for 30 seconds, walking for 30 seconds after that, and repeating.
I see. So it's only like a 30-second timer.
There's even a stopwatch function built in. Then there's Dialer for Pebble by Mate J. Dro. So without this app, you'd be relying on the stock built-in phone feature that hasn't been working on the newer versions of Android. You can still get the notification, but sometimes the buttons don't work to end the call or to mute the call or to mute the ringer. The Dialer for Pebble app fixes this and gives you back control of your phone calls.
I like that. When the Pebble color came out, I was like, this is beautiful, but the bezels were too small for my liking. I'm saying it backwards. They were too big for my liking. So you can clearly see here that the actual display is tiny. And that's why for me, I struggled a little bit with Pebble.
Please leave your message for...
With this app, you can customize what the buttons on your Pebbles do when the phone is ringing or while you're in a phone call. And if your watch supports it, it even displays the caller ID image. I have a video on how to set this up because, for me, I need this function to work. Link is also in the description.
I like that. When I had my Pebble watch, we did not have this available.
Dashboard by Chris Lewis. This app has multiple functions, but I only use it primarily for one, and that is the Find Phone function. There are other functions, such as toggles.
You know what? For people who are born like in the early 2000s, you won't understand the nostalgia I'm feeling right now. Pebble watches are something that it's sad to say, and I'm gonna show my age, you would classify as a retro device, but for me it's not retro at all because I grew up using the Pebble watches. I was there when they were released. I bought one from the shops. Like, I'm getting old. I'm getting old, but I like this old school functionality. This is something that today I would be excited to use. Because, yes, I have the ability to get a lot better, in terms of functionality, smartwatches. But there's a reason why the Pebble watches are currently still holding a good value. They're not like 10, 20 pounds. They still are like 50 pounds or higher. So for me, this is something that maybe I might in the future buy.
For the Wi-Fi, phone data,
Buy again.
Bluetooth, phone ringer, data sync, hotspot, and auto brightness. You could also lock your phone from your watch. There is also a network and battery life status screen.
I like that.
Some of the functions didn't work on my Android 14 phone, such as the Wi-Fi toggle. And if you toggle off Bluetooth, your watch will disconnect too. To get this app, you can install the Watch app directly from the Pebble store. But the companion...
For me, the Pebble Steel, my goodness. Like, the feeling I have right now in my chest just saying the word Pebble Steel brings back so much memories. Such a good watch.
app that you need on your phone is no longer on the Google Play Store. You must download it and sideload it from the original author's webpage. Link is in the description. Although it installs the dashboard app.
There we go. There's my old watch, my Pebble Steel. This was the kind of watch that looked the closest to an actual watch. So for me, if the display was off, people would assume it's not a smartwatch. And for me, having a watch that doesn't look like a smartwatch is what's important to me. If watch manufacturers are here, your goal is to make a smartwatch that does not look like a smartwatch. That should be your goal.
App does not load on the Pebble Steel.
Because people like me who are in the corporate space desire to have technology that does not look like it's intrusive. Technology that works for you, that speaks to the environment you're in. Yeah,
But it worked fine on the original Pebble.
Ooh, I like that one.
The stock ticker app. This is the only one I could find that still works. It's by the author, It's the Red One. You need to sign up for an API key at the finhub.io site, but it's free and simple. I made an account and verified my email. They provided the API keys as I logged in. There's no subscription or payment of services needed. Just copy and paste the key into the settings on the phone
I like that.
app side. Enter your ticker symbols on the phone app, and then you can see them on your watch. Although it shows a chart in the screenshots, they do not appear on my watch, but the info is good enough.
Why? Why? Like, who is so busy trying to do stock exchange or trying to do trading on a Pebble watch that they need to know the stock price at every single moment? If you need to know it that accurately, use your phone. Use a device that is not a 10-15-year-old device. But maybe I'm just a little old school. For me, a watch is a watch. The more watch things a watch can do, the better. Yes, it's good to have all the nice little features, but I still think constraining a device, like limiting the features, actually benefits it. I am more drawn to devices that only have a few small features. If you give me everything, I might as well get the best. And the best is a smartphone or a much better smartwatch. But if you constrain it, it becomes like a selling point. There's a reason why people buy e-ink readers. Yes, the display does last longer than a normal tablet, but the fact that there is less features make it a benefit. But Pebble is no longer in business. I don't know what the future holds for Pebble, but comment down below. I want you guys to just comment something, and that is, should you buy Pebble in 2025? Comment yes you should or no you shouldn't, and give me your reasons below. I want to know why. Because for me personally, I would buy a Pebble watch because maybe because of my age and nostalgia, I used to own it and I would enjoy it. But would you buy one? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Peace.